Yo, it's good. Got a quick market recap today. No trades today because can you guess why? Can you guess why? Because we didn't take any trades. Why did we take no trades? Because it's getting closer to the end of the year, so I'm not really expecting anything to work out. And also tomorrow is like Christmas Eve, I'm pretty sure. So, people are just not really doing too much. I'm not really expecting the markets to be moving that well. So probably just gonna chill around, like in it's New Year's and everything like that. So probably like nothing too much is gonna be happening. So I'm kind of like going into the market, not really expecting to trade. Like I'm just there and I'm kind of loafing. Like I'm not really actively trying to take anything. It's just like there to be there. Also I'm making a Discord, so stay tuned for that because I don't know, I just thought I should make a Discord low-key because I see a lot of comments, but I feel like, and I get a lot of DMs on TikTok, but I feel like I would rather just like have it on Discord, and then they could just DM me through there and it's just more convenient. But anyways, what I was saying is Euro USD was bullish going into market open, right? I need to sound more energetic, but I think I'm getting sick, which kind of sucks. But I think I was outside and then I ran as well and just cooked my nose up, and my nose has been bleeding way too much recently. But anyways, 4 hours bullish going into market open. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for lows to get taken so that we could take potential longs to the upside. Long goes up because it's long. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I said that. But anyways, so Euro USD, we were looking bullish. We opened like in between London highs and London lows. So this was low key, like kind of like promising. We had the London lows here. This was also a 1 hour low. And then with GBP USD, we had these London lows. And at the time, we had kind of like a bullish SMT. I think it was with this low here, something like that. I deleted it because that was kind of irrelevant. But we did have a bullish SMT for GBP USD, so that looked pretty nice. Oh wait, it wasn't that one. It was this one. But yeah, so in my mind, I'm thinking like, Euro USD looks pretty good. We could maybe take something. We did have these fair value gaps, which weren't like too prominent, but what I was looking for was this low to get taken. No, I was looking on GBP USD, but Euro USD, if something ended up working out, that would be okay. But we had this high that we could have breaking structure with, but we never ended up doing that. We had these inverse fair value gaps we could have maybe taken, but we ended up not inversing them, and then we also pushed lower and lower, and then GBP USD ended up pushing lower and lower and kind of made the SMT kind of like irrelevant. But it's just like an observation I had if you wanted to know. Maybe you didn't. But anyways, talking more about GBP USD, Euro USD, my bad, I'm getting like jumbled up. So we didn't have any kind of inverse for value gap. So ideally what I was looking for was like, maybe we could inverse this and then come down lower on a retracement or something like that. We never ended up doing that. So I was thinking like, maybe we could inverse these gaps, have a retracement to equilibrium, and then somehow target these for value gaps. Was that possible? Probably not, because if we had to stop loss below the low, then it's like, then we would like, then that's what the risk reward would have been. But there's no like risk reward proper like greater than 1.25 that would like sustain that. So I was not really looking to trade on this. Like after I saw that push lower, I kind of just gave up hope on anything working out. So that's kind of why I just sat out of this one. GBP USD 4 hour was bullish as well. Like I said, we had that kind of bullish SMT at the time, but we didn't have any way to like kind of confirm bullish. At this point, I was really thinking like, we could dash come into the London lows and then we could just go long. But did that happen? No, that didn't happen. So it's just like nothing really to observe there, bro. We ended up having some kind of interaction with the London low, but we broke structure all the way up here. Like, what are we gonna base our trade off? We could come into equilibrium, but even with like stop loss and everything, stop loss placement and everything like that, it wouldn't be like a proper trade to take. Because the risk would have been cooked, stop loss below the low of the equilibrium, TP here, like it wouldn't have worked out to be a good trade. The risk would have been cooked, and there's no point in taking that kind of trade. So I just thought it was better to sit out. We did come on lower. We ended up taking out the Asian low. This was like way later into market open, but we did end up coming in like a bit lower. So maybe that could have offered a better risk reward. But at the same time, we formed these large fair value gaps. We barely ended up, I don't think we even inverse that, and it's just like, it's kind of in the way, it's kind of like resistance, like not resistance as in support and resistance, but I mean like, it's just like confluence in the opposite way, like we could dash be coming in here and then just filling in orders to go lower, rather than actually trying to inverse that. So I feel like it's kind of dumb to enter right into a fair value gap, because it's just kind of showing like, it's kind of showing just like, reasons for us to go lower rather than like reasons for us to go higher. So that's kind of why I sat out of GBP USD. Now GBP JPY 4-hour was bearish going into market open on this one. We had 1 hour lows right here, 1 hour highs right here, and 1 hour highs right here. So we had absolute London highs, and then we had like a middle one kind of there. So ideally I was looking at like, yo, we could take out these highs and then maybe target the lows. But like the thing about this one was that the 30-minute like low was quite like a large wick. So I would have probably just target like 50% or all the way down to the absolute low rather than just doing like a little bit like that, because you know, like what's the point of like this entire space being like kind of the target, you know? So that was like kind of my thought process with that. You know, maybe we could have taken something like that, but anyways, market opens, we have this large move to the upside. I don't know what happened, you know, we had the same kind of move on all three pairs. My bad. What I was saying, I want to see you get this get inverse and then see some sort of retracement, but you know, we didn't end up getting a proper retracement. We didn't even end up inversing this for value gap for quite a bit, you know, until after the like kind of time that I usually trade. But you know, there's no real point entering off of just to break a structure when we got this for value gap right here. You know, you could see like we had some sort of like kind of rejection off of that, like some respect of the fair value gap, but we ended up inversing it later. But you know, it's like you're not too sure, you know. I like ideally when you're entering into a trade, you don't want to see that much, like, you know, I guess like the whole probabilities thing, but I feel like I lose way more when I enter into a fair value gap, you know, through all like the trades I've taken. Most of the trades that I win is like it's a clear path, it's a high probability, not really any areas for it to like kind of reject off of. So that's kind of why I don't want to enter right into a fair value gap. So yeah, you know, that's kind of pretty much it. You know, 3 pairs, not really that much, just life, bro. It's just tired. Low-key thinking of getting a tattoo like under my collarbone, something there. I don't know what I wanted to say though. I was thinking maybe like consistency, but I feel like that's just like that's gay. No homo. How can I be homo? But I don't know, I want to get something. I want to get like plus 1%, you know, because I believe in like getting 1% better every day. But you know, I don't really know. I need to think about that. But yeah, goodbye.